Wow, this is so good. Let's have it. Let's have it. So, MAGAs are not using their hands now to educate the public. They are using their hands now to beg the public. And I want you guys to listen to why they are begging the public. This time around, they are not saying that they are leaving MAGA because a lot of them has left already, despite the fact we know that a lot of them are still pretending that no matter what you do, we are still MAGAs. I love MAGAs. Okay. They're advising us. A lot of them want us to see reasons, and let's go watch. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. And credits belong to the original creators of every single clip and stitches we have in our today's episode. For disclaimer, this is just for educational purposes. Honestly, this is what you see when you don't listen to Black Americans. Let's go watch. Let's just watch.
The damage done to the United States' reputation as a safe country to be in and to visit by this administration is going to last decades, unless something really drastic is done by the subsequent administration.
Please do not come to the United States. We are not the same country we were 4 months ago. It is not safe here anymore. They can pull you off the street. They can detain you. They'll do God knows what to you. They're doing it to our own citizens. They will do it to you. Please do not support American products. Don't buy American. Don't vacation here. I'm very sorry to say this, and I want to apologize on behalf of all rational Americans in this country who are fighting Trump tooth and nail with everything we have. We're sorry. We're doing the best we can to get rid of this guy. And all his crooked cronies, but we're having a very difficult time doing it. We handed him the keys. An ignorant populace handed him the keys to this kingdom, and we're finding it very difficult to even slow him down, frankly. I think America's done. I hate to say that, but I don't know how much we can do, what we can do to slow this guy down. We're trying very hard. Please don't support us anymore. And to my government, my friends in government all over the world who we dealt with in business and for so many years, you guys were so good to us all over the place, France, Australia, the United Kingdom, of course, Canada, of course, Mexico, Costa Rica, Panama, all over Asia. You guys have been wonderful partners to us for years. I'm so sorry Trump is treating you like dirt. Don't expect anything better from him in the future. He's a tyrant. He wants to be a dictator, and frankly, he's turning into one very quickly. Again, we're having a hard time slowing him down. I'm sorry to say that. Please don't trust this guy. If you're working in government, he makes you a promise. His promise is worth nothing. I've known this guy for 30 years. His word is worthless. And that goes for all of his crooked cronies in our GOP that are supporting him. Do not trust this guy. Do not trust. The reason I'm telling you this right now, if you're wondering, is because I'm getting out to a couple million people on social media a week now. And he's going to shut me down. He's shutting friends of mine down. He's threatening my friends that have millions and millions of viewers on social media, that are rational thinking people. He's threatening them within an inch of their life. He's going after them for taxes. He's going after them for any way he can. And I'm afraid it's going to continue, and I won't be able to say this, so I'm saying it now. Do not trust anything American at this point. We are not the same country. I don't know that we ever will be. Again, apologies from America. You guys have been so great to us, and we're so sorry.
Prison was way down. And why? Because people come over on vacation and they get locked up for 4 or 5 damn days for no damn reason, and then they get let go. Oh, sorry, I thought you were somebody else. That's who's running the country right now. That's how America is treating people coming over who love this country and just want to come over and visit it. That's how we're treating them.
I think most of the world, if you say, hey, we're going to take a vacation to America, they will say, don't get shot.
Sure.
Whoa. Okay, so don't come to America right now. I mean, all the obvious reasons why, but this is not safe for you. I just heard about 2 German young men who flew in to Honolulu Airport who were detained by ICE. They were questioned for hours. They were strip searched, naked, strip searched. They were placed in green jumpsuits, and they were put in a holding cell with criminals. Don't come here. It's not safe. It's not safe for me. I'm born and raised here. It's not safe for me. It's definitely not safe for you. Please, 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 please. Don't come here right now. Don't come here right now.
154 countries right now. 153 of them can be celebrating this year because they've had a substantial increase in visitors from foreign countries in tourism. The one country out of the 154 that's had a decrease, the only country that's had a decrease, the United States of America. We've had 8 consecutive months of a decline in foreign visitors and tourists, and the numbers are staggering. Over 7% over last year, down. That's a revenue shortfall of over $41 billion. By the way, that's $41 billion. That's revenue that can't be recouped. That's not just airlines and hotels. That's everything from restaurants and retail and dry cleaners and theme parks and you name it that are hurting because of this. And will it get better right now for the United States? Right now, I'd have to say in the short term, probably not. It's going to get worse.
I regard the United States as the most lawless and dangerous country in the world by far.
And with that being said, I'm going to say this plainly, without sugarcoating it. If you're thinking about visiting the United States right now, don't. This is not a travel advisory vibe. This is a reality check. The climate here is volatile, unpredictable, charged. People are getting pew-pewed in places that are supposed to be normal. Schools, grocery stores, highways, churches, synagogues, neighborhoods. And yes, even white people are getting caught in it. No one is exempt. But let's be honest for a second. If you are a person of color, if you are black, if you are brown, if you are yellow, you are not just visiting a country. You are playing Russian roulette and entering a risk zone. That's not hyperbole. That's basic math. Between political extremism, racial hostility, gun culture with zero breaks, an administration using Gestapo-like law enforcement, and a Republican-led government pouring gasoline instead of water, the margin of safety is razor thin. One wrong interaction, one wrong assumption, one wrong place at the wrong time. And before anyone says, but it's not everywhere, that's the point. You don't know where it will be next. Vacations are supposed to be relaxing. Sightseeing should not involve hypervigilance. You should not need an exit strategy on vacation. So if you're abroad, stay abroad. If you are planning a trip here, redirect it. Your money, your joy, your safety. Put it somewhere that actually values all three. This isn't anti-America. This is pro-life, pro-safety, pro-reality. Protect yourself. Choose peace over passport stamps. And do not let anyone guilt you into ignoring what you can clearly see. That's the warning. And that's the read. This is the Notorious JTB, notoriously opinionated, signing out.
They are not lying about Vegas being dead, y'all. I'm a waitress on the Strip, and last year around this time, I made like $300 to $500 a day in tips. And today, I just walked home with $124.
So, came to Las Vegas for the first time, me and my friends, because we all turned 60. This is a freaking ghost town. I created content about how the travel industry is being hit, especially Las Vegas. This place is a ghost town. There are restaurants inside of all these gorgeous hotels. The doors are shut. I hopped into a Lyft because I don't use Uber. Don't use Uber, you guys. And the Lyft driver, I asked how he was doing, and he said, okay, but, you know, business is really tough right now because there's not that many tourists, as many tourists coming in needing an Uber or a Lyft. And I said, is this what you do for a living normally? And he said, no, I'm a real estate agent, but everybody in real estate right now is suffering, and all of us agree nothing's going to get better until we have a change in administration. He came right out and said it. So he's like, I had to get this side gig. When I was departing from my airport, it's a Delta hub, meaning there are something like over 200 gates. And there was a time just a couple years ago when all those gates had Delta airplanes in them. There were, I counted, at least 40 gates that were literally shuttered, not even being used, snowed in, idle storage at those gates. Like, we're being really distracted, but this Trump administration, Republicans are tanking our economy. I can't stress it enough.
Don't go to the U.S., not with Trump in office. Karen Newton here was on the trip of a lifetime in America when she was shackled and detained for 6 weeks. Now let me tell you the truth. A UK grandmother on vacation with a valid visa was detained by ICE, except that's not the truth. Karen Newton was on vacation in America when she was detained, but it's because Karen Newton had been to America before. She was in America on a tourist visa where she overstayed by 4 years. Karen Newton is also married to a man who came to America on an HB1 visa, of which he overstayed by 20 years. However, during the Biden administration, Karen was given a new visa, so she decided to come back to America to visit her illegal immigrant husband. Then they decided to take a trip to Canada. When they got to the Canadian border, they said, well, hold on a minute. All of you don't have all of your proper documentation because, God forbid, a country tried to secure their borders. So they turned them around and sent them back. And when they got to the American side of immigration, that's when they discovered that her husband was an actual illegal immigrant, who of which has overstayed his visa by 20 years. And that, my friends, is how they got hemmed up by immigration. And yes, she may have been kept for 6 weeks because when you have confusing documentation and they see that you've overstayed here and then your husband has been living here for 20 years undocumented, it takes a little time for them to figure out who you are and where you belong. And yet another play by the media to pull at your heartstrings.
Are even being told by their home countries to take their vacations and money elsewhere.
Do you feel like your friends and family feel comfortable traveling there?
No. Nobody I know back in England or here.
And then the police can take them and just take them to a country outside the States. And then they're not a protected citizen anymore.
Horror stories are emerging of treatment at the border, with one story so shocking it's got many asking if America is still safe.
I think the atmosphere is changing there, so I would prefer to go there. I'd probably stay in Europe.
The United States tourism is plummeting in the billions. Billions of dollars, that is. And you know how folks often tell international communities how much they need our tourism dollars? A lot of Americans forget that their own cities thrive off of tourism. In 2023 alone, the United States travel and tourism market contributed to $2.36 trillion. And the cities and states that rely heavily on hotel taxes, sales taxes, and other tourism-related fees, less tourism for you means less funding in education, transit, and infrastructure in your city.
You know that many countries around the world have travel advisories against coming to the U.S.? It is considered unsafe to set foot in the U.S. Many countries are actively warning their citizens not to travel here for as long as Donald Trump is in charge. Due to our lack of freedoms, the United States is no longer considered a first world country. We can't afford health care, we have excessive gun violence and school shootings, and we are deporting people all day, every day, for no reason at all. People are being detained and brutalized. U.S. citizens, our own citizens. So it should come as no surprise that people all over the world wouldn't dream of setting foot in our country.
Planning your next holiday, there are a lot of places to choose from, but one that is falling out of fashion is the US. Since Donald Trump took office, America has reported a dramatic drop in the number of international tourists, and it's impacting the country's bottom line. In the usually warm month of June, tourist arrivals remained frosty, falling 6%. It continued a trend that has seen a decline in visitor numbers year on year since the start of 2025. The biggest drop-off has been visits from Canada, with the northern neighbours deterred by Trump's tariffs and continued threats to make their country the 51st state. Europe is also looking elsewhere, with a number of French, Swiss and Dutch tourists dropping, while Scandinavian nations are punishing the US for Trump's talk about getting Greenland.
Sending memes might not be so funny anymore, at least for travelers looking to visit the U.S. The Trump administration says it could soon require visitors to submit 5 years of social media history. And if they find something they don't like, you could be barred from entering. Currently, citizens from countries participating in the visa waiver program, including the U.K., Germany and Australia, must register online and pay $40 before they're okay to travel to the United States for up to 90 days. But according to the federal registrar, the new rule would not only require applicants to share their social media, but undergo a more detailed examination of their history, including the names of family members and where they live, and a selfie of themselves.
Oh, y'all know them travel advisory reports that the United States loves to push out, basically telling us to not go to certain places because they're violent or it's not safe. Yeah, so the Department of Commerce has now issued a report showing a growing list of countries advising their citizens to not come to the United States, to not come and visit the United States. Yeah. Now we are not the safe country.
Lost $12 billion of tourism revenue last year. Canadians, Mexicans, Europeans, all boycotting Trump and ICE.
New rule, if you don't like America, you're not welcome. Yeah, if you don't like America, there is no reason for you to come here. You don't need to pack your bags from your country that's better than ours and move to America, because we have nothing to offer.
Absolutely 100% not going to the U.S. Like, I wouldn't go to Nazi Germany, so I'm not going to the U.S. Anybody else? Anybody else like, yeah, I'm good. They got nice deals down there in Las Vegas. You know, it's a quick flight from me here in Vancouver, but I'm good. I'll head over to Greenland, check out Greenland for a bit, but definitely not the U.S. Not
America magic, the America dream, the spell that they were all under. They don't care anymore. Nobody wants to go to America. Even my assistant who lives in Pakistan, he was saying how it was his goal for a long time to save up money and move to America. And he doesn't even want to go now. Why? Chill. Stay in Pakistan. He'll be the most baller, big chilling guy in Pakistan working with me. And if he moves to, America with his wage, he's going to be on food stamps. Not literally. I pay him well, but you know what I'm saying.
A lot of travel is down into the United States from around the world. It feels like there's been reputational damage.
Country's doing great. Well, prices are down.
Not the tourism.
Gasoline's down. Energy's down. Tourism is going to be way up. Wait till you see the numbers. The tourism is way up.
I know.
Now, Canada, tourism's doing very well. We're doing very well. We're doing very well. Wait till you see the real numbers come out in 6 months from now. Wait till you see the numbers.
I'm an American that's been living in Amsterdam for about 8 years now. I'm completely integrated. My partner is Dutch, which is why I moved out here. I speak the language. I've got primarily Dutch friends. And here are some of the reasons why I have found that the Dutch, particularly, don't like Americans. So the Dutch mentality is all about nuchterheid is the word that they use. And it's about being down to earth. It's about being level-headed. It's about being just like everybody else. Nobody is better than anybody else. And if you look at the American mentality, it's completely the opposite. It's about trying to be better than everybody else, trying to be the star, trying your hardest to be something. They find that type of mentality completely rude, dishonest, and how they like to call it, fake. The second biggest reason is because Americans are brought up with the idea that America is better than everybody else, this savior complex that they saved everybody. They are the example, and that couldn't be further from the truth. If you look at things like gun control, healthcare, safety, equality, I mean, the US is the worst. Not admitting to that is something that they completely hate. And lastly, I don't know why, but there is this view that Americans are dumb. We are just dumb to them. I think that's something we're never going to be able to change. They're always just going to view the American mentality, the American mindset as just dumb. After 8 years living here, I can safely say that I totally agree with the Dutch mentality, and I share their view on us Americans, sadly. As much as I love my American friends and my American family, I don't love my country, and I only saw freedom and opportunity until I left.
Many reasons I will never ever move to America. Forget gun crime for a moment. Biggest thing on the rise right now, death by ICE agent. The amount of terrified citizens in America right now. We think we've got immigration issues over here. I mean, at least when...
Just got back after 10 weeks being in Italy, and there was one common thread that kept coming up every time I spoke to anybody and told them that I was from the United States. Everyone. Italians, Germans, Danes, French. They're all afraid to even visit the United States. They all really think they're going to be deported the minute they land. People will say, I want to visit America. I've always dreamt about going to visit America. But then the next thing people say is, I wouldn't want to go to the United States right now. I'm afraid to visit. My immediate reaction was always, that's crazy. Of course you can visit the United States. They're just going after the illegals. We're getting a lot of news about various different ICE raids, people being rounded up where they're being rounded up. That's not the news the Europeans are getting. What they're getting is when a European traveler is having a problem at the border, that then makes the news all around Europe. This is Jessica Brioche. She was held for 46 days, including a reported 9 days in solitary confinement due to tattoo equipment in her possession. This is Lucas. He was 22 days into a 90-day tourist permit. Now, he's got a language barrier. He incorrectly answered a question and they detained him. Here is Fabian Schmidt. This is a permanent U.S. resident. He was stripped and placed in a cold shower despite renewing his legal permanent resident status in 2024 and having no active legal issues. Here's a British national, Rebecca Burke, 28-year-old Welsh backpacker. She was held for 19 days in an ICE detention facility. They're hearing story after story. It turns out it's true. Story after story after story of Europeans actually being detained at the border.
Do not come. Do not come.
Germany is asking its citizens not to go to the US. Do you guys... Germany is saying... For anybody who's not mad about that, that's probably because you don't have family in Germany. The rest of us have family in other countries. So we are now living in the land of the free, but also can't see anybody outside of the land of the free.
Problem about the 2026 World Cup.
That it's being hosted in America, being in the United States.
That it's in America.
Oh, because it's in America. So, I don't know about you guys, but me, as a European, I'm pretty scared of traveling to the US. I was thinking about going to the World Cup, but that's not an option. Like, chances are pretty high that I'm gonna die. Killed by ICE. Like, what we are seeing currently in the US, the last 2 weeks, what happened in Minnesota, this literally feels like Nazi Germany. If they kill US citizens, then what are they gonna do to foreigners? Especially so freaking many that are planning on going to see the World Cup games. Yeah, I don't know, this is... What the fuck is happening in the US?
Some things that people are saying about us. Australia has now deemed us unsafe to travel. In Norway, they are constantly talking about America and how we have the parallels to World War II and how our societal progression is constantly backpedaling. Germany has actually made an opera making fun of Trump. The UK is also deeming us unsafe to travel to because they believe that we are headed towards a Holocaust. Kim Jong-un believes that we have gone too far. Yes, the leader of North Korea believes that we are going too far. Even Switzerland has now chosen a side. They are finally speaking up, and if it is that bad that Switzerland officially chooses a side, that's how you know it's bad.
Really want to spend our money in a country that is undertaking certain actions within the world, that's destabilizing the world and likely undertaking illegal activity onto other countries.
We've certainly curtailed our plans to visit the United States and buy goods from that country.
Do you have any plans to go to the States in this?
No, I do not. I wouldn't want to. I think it's challenging to go back there now. There's too many questions, searching your phones, asking what you're doing. It's just not worth the hassle. It's intimidating crossing the border. Whether you're, even when you don't have anything to be worried or intimidated about, it can be stressful.
It's kind of scary with all the news I'm hearing and everything. I am an international student, so I do have get a visa and then go in there. So there's a lot of things I have to do before I travel to the U.S. And then if I get to the U.S., there might be other problems there as well. So I just trying to be safe.
I moved to the United States in the early 90s, and then I just moved back here just this last summer. I didn't like the politics. I didn't like a lot of the changes in the regulations and stuff, and it just felt safer to be back in Canada.
I have kids and grandkids, and they changed their mind about going to Disney because my daughter says, I absolutely refuse to go to the States. She doesn't feel safe. I hate to point out Trump, but it's one of the obvious reasons. If the politics changes in the States, for sure, I think we would go back.
Latest political action with going over to Venezuela, it's just like, what? What's next, And so you don't know, because that was very unexpected, it seems like. So, who knows?
Very unstable. And instability in any country with politics makes you question whether you would go there. Take children or your grandkids there. It wouldn't be a wise choice.
I don't want to get down there and not be able to get back.
To be honest, it's put me off going to America. I don't like his policies. I don't like the way he thinks. Yeah. All the stuff going on with ICE, I don't like any of that. Yeah. Not a fan of any of it, to be honest. I did plan a trip. I was thinking of going to New York with my brother, before the latest election, and honestly, it's put me off. Yeah. I'm brown, so it's not. It's not great. Yeah, I don't want to go there. Exactly. Sure. Yeah. I feel like I'd rather not give money to not a regime, but to a country that I'm not a big.
Travel to the US right now. This is literally what every single video on my For You page is telling me to do, or what not to do rather. But I literally have flights booked for May, and no, not for leisure. I guess kind of. But basically my mum lives in America, and I literally said to her about a month ago when we booked my flights, I said to her, I'm really, really, really not comfortable with coming. I don't feel good right now about the US. I really don't want to be there, to be honest. And then I also said to her, I've been seeing videos, and not very many, but a few videos about tourists getting detained. I also spoke to her about the fact that green card holders were getting detained, but she sort of put an end to my nerves and said, I really want you to come, I want you to see my new flat, that kind of thing. And I felt really bad, obviously, because I want to go and see my mum, and I want to go and see her life and whatever. But I had a big old conversation with her where I was like, I don't feel safe. I truly, truly do not feel safe there. And if I were to be safe there when I was traveling, it would be because of privilege, and that makes me feel sick. And now my entire For You page is Americans saying stay the fuck out of the US because they are literally detaining and questioning tourists now. And more than that, they are checking their social media.
Cancelled my next trip to the United States. I was looking forward to it as well, going to Boston, New England, beautiful places, lovely people. In fact, I even have both friends and actually some relatives in Maine, but I've cancelled it because ICE or whatever the hell it is detaining people. They detained a young Canadian for 10 days. They apparently arrested a bunch of Germans recently. They're going through people's phones. This is meant to be the United States is meant to be the beacon of democracy and freedom and so forth. Well, it is anything but. This is what fascism actually.
Do not travel to America. Do not travel to America for the next 4 years. Especially as a black or brown person. You do not want to get caught up in Trump's deportations. I'm sure by now you've heard of the German and UK tourists who were arrested by ICE and detained for days. Allegedly, the German tourists were chained. You do not want that to be your story, especially if you are taking your family on holiday with you. We already know that Trump has a checkered history with racism, and he's managed to infect a large proportion of that country. Do not spend your hard-earned money on a country that does not appreciate you as a black or brown person.
All right, people, this is just a heads up. Those of you thinking, hey, we'll just swing by the U.S. and take a look at the Grand Canyon, or, I don't know, I've got a conference in D.C., or I'm going to run over to California and get me some new tech ideas. Do not come. It's a trap. It is very dangerous for you right now in this country. It's dangerous for us in this country. Our speech is being censored. The reporting is all state-sponsored. We get content removed from this app constantly. They are allowed to search your phones at the border when you are leaving the country, and if they find any type of anti-Trump sentiment in your text messages, I would imagine on your TikTok account or anywhere, they can detain you and possibly do an FBI investigation into you. That has happened. So do not come here. It is very, very dangerous. As long as the orange turd is in charge, consider this an off-limit country for you, just to be safe.
Do not come to the United States. A 65-year-old British tourist with a valid tourist visa was locked up in ICE detention for 6 weeks with no idea why she was in there because she hadn't broken any laws. Because she wanted to get out of there, she had agreed after 3 days in detention for self-removal, which waived her right to see a judge and meant she couldn't return to the United States for up to 10 years. Erin Newton and her husband Bill didn't think that they would have any issues with ICE when they planned their road trip through the American West, but when they tried to cross into Canada, the Canadian officials told them they didn't have the right paperwork to take their car with them. So when they got sent back into the U.S. officials discovered that Bill's visa was expired. And here's the truly horrifying part. Karen was told that she was being locked up because she was guilty by association. She had violated the terms of her B2 tourist visa by helping her husband pack for their trip. 6 weeks in prison. She didn't know when she was going to get out, didn't know what time of day it was, didn't know for most of the time how her husband was, didn't have a lawyer because she was detained and not arrested, and given a top bunk at age 65 that she couldn't get into, so she slept on the floor. And why in reality? Karen was told by multiple sources that ICE agents are given a bonus for every person that they detain.
I have been guilty, as has a large number of friends of mine, of saying the following. I'll be discussing what's going on, recounting the horrors going on in this country, particularly for anyone other than white. And we'll be talking about it, and then one or the other of us would say, well, you know, I just can't. I've stopped watching the news, or I can only take it for a little bit, and then I just have to turn it off because I can't abide this. And I would be right there with them saying, me too. You know, there's only so much you can take. I mean, after all. I woke up at some point and recognized we only have the luxury of saying, I'm just going to turn this off and not look because we're white. That's it. We are white. So we have that luxury of averting our eyes, of closing our eyes, of taking a break from the horror. Once that realization hit me, I became what's probably a horror show to my friends. I don't know why anybody follows me on Facebook anymore, because the only thing that I post, almost, slight exception for the great-granddaughter, the only thing I post on there is the horrors of what's going on for so many people. And the horrors of watching the democracy, the destruction of it, which is pretty much accomplished, and the horrors of what this means for the whole world. We cannot turn away from it. We may not turn away from it. As someone said in a meme I saw the other day, somewhere right now in the United States, a young girl is writing in her diary. I've also been thinking and saying for quite a while, if anybody is going to be able to lead the resistance to what's going on, to be the biggest pain in the ass to ICE, to all of it, it's got to be old white women. Why? Not because we're born heroic, hardly that. But what we do have is the least to lose. We don't have young children that we have to protect. We don't have beginning careers that we want to protect. We have already lived long lives. We need to be on the forefront. I saw a post this morning by a young man who's British, but of some, Asian descent maybe, saying in Minneapolis, he has never seen the kind of bravery he has as old white women are displaying. That's not bragging. That's saying Get out there, old white women. We need to be doing whatever we are physically and mentally capable of doing to stop this horror show.
Anyways, that's all I got for this video. A lot of them are saying do not come to America anymore. It's not making sense here. In fact, we are not even happy being here ourselves. We are even looking for an escape route. So why do you need to come? Even went to the point of showing us a woman that was literally detained after she had a visa. That's good. That's good. Because this is what you obviously see when you don't listen to black people. This is what we come for you. When black people are saying, sit down here, you choose to run. You choose not to listen. You choose not to obey the last command. Yes. You know, if you check, like the video I uploaded yesterday, where this guy automatically said a lot of things that clicked into so many people's head, was, why do we need to be checking other things when we have a lot of problems to solve for ourselves? Do you get my point? Why do you need to put off someone else's fire when your own house is burning? A lot of businesses, a lot of things that have been expanded by successful American owners have totally been flushed out just within a second of electing this man. And you know the sweetest part, and where I love it so much for MAGAs, is the fact that their businesses crumbled more. Those ones that voted, those ones that elected, those ones that made us look stupid, those ones that made us look like we don't know what you're doing. Their businesses collapsed more. Their businesses crumbled more. Their businesses suffered the more. Yes. Simple instructions to listen to black people. You said no. Now we're talking about do not come to the US. A lot of videos right now, if you even go to airports and places, they are literally empty. Airports are empty. Everywhere empty. Just for the sins of one man. Now, if you watch in this video, you can see at some point where a particular guy did an estimation of how much Americans make alone just from tourists. Just tourists. How much this country makes. But right now, Baba is busy fighting. Right now, Baba is busy doing WAR. Right now, Baba is busy doing BOMB. Right now, Baba is busy doing what he thinks he knows how to do best. Baba has forgotten his children. He has forgotten the main cause why he was literally elected, why he was chosen. From front to back. Every single day when you wake up with this orange man's regime, it's more like you're waking up to another bad day. I saw a particular woman's video that I nearly wept. But why I started laughing at her with this my good laugh, when I laugh, is because at the end of the video, she now said, but I voted for him and I regretted. Now, what did this man say in a video? She said she don't even wish to wake up. Like the next day, once she's waking up, she's asking herself, what is the stress of today? What is the problem of today? But when I heard I voted, I was like, wow, I just commented, wow, that's good. Wake up very early every day. Because you created the trauma for yourself, you created it for your family, you created it for your individuals. And it is not that bad that a lot of people are not even, some of the MAGAs, they are not seeing anything wrong. They are seeing everything perfect. The moment you take step, that's good. The moment you do this one, that's good. The moment you do that one, that's good. Oh my God, he's doing well. Kamala Harris wouldn't have done that. Baba is busy creating name that, oh, he did the World War III. He's busy creating legacy for himself. No tourists. Everything is sinking. Everywhere is empty. He got to a point, he raised the tourist fee of $250. That before you come to visit, even if you are just visiting your sister and disappearing, before you come, you have to, is a must, pay $250 fee. Let me know what you think about this video. Credits belong to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Do it, subscribe, like this video, drop me your comments, and lastly, do not forget to share for every other person to get this good news. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking, commenting, sharing my videos, dropping super thanks, dropping your commentaries. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are absolutely the best. Okay, anyways, thank you so much for staying stick and hook with me to the end of this video. And yes, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys from the depth of my heart.